If you've gone to cleavermusic.com, you're well aware that Multitasking is our 12th single. Undoubtedly, you've heard it numerous times before, but probably while drinking coffee, or driving your car, or checking your email, or any multitude of mundane tasks. So this video is made to focus your attention and to guide you into all the greatness the song has to offer. Multitasking is another song that was inspired by the daily drawings. This was my unsuccessful attempt years ago to make a drawing each day. And I would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for these meddling kids. Anyway, the drawing itself has some of the main lyrics. Multitasking steals another day away.
Multitasking steals another day away.
How was your day, dear?
How was your day, dear? I can't recall.
And even one from a different daily.
Maybe tomorrow we'll live in the now. But for today.
And the rest of the song wrote itself. So let's start with an early version that we just pulled out from the vault.
We're piling up a constant climb to stay on top for you. There's too much to do. Need more time and more arms and more eyes, but you only have two.
Compared to this final version.
Eat your breakfast while you race out the door. Morning conversations while checking the scores. Forget the present, mind's on to the next. Fix your hair and drive a car while checking your text.
Believe it or not, the song was highly influenced by the band Rush. Rush was our first concert, our favorite band as kids. And later in life, we kind of rediscovered them with a whole new appreciation for their technique, their songwriting, their production. They were amazing. So that was a big influence for me when I was laying down tracks. But then Chris came in with the accordion and just killed that vibe. So while I was being influenced by Canadian prog rock of the 80s, Chris tried to bring a bit of Zydeco influence to the song. Anyway, let's chop this thing up. I think I'll just start by soloing a few different tracks so you can hear what's in there. The verse. This pulsating synth adds a little bit of frenzy, a little bit of chaos, and build up to the next section.
Fix your hair and drive a car while checking your text. Who did you see today?
The pre-chorus. So the drums change to this sort of galloping beat with the toms. And you can hear a distorted guitar jumping in and out. And that guitar was recorded like this. But for most of the pre-choruses, that was just a little too heavy. It was taking up a little too much space. So we did a trick where you kind of fade it in and out during key moments. And here's how that sounds just with the bass. Another thing that might be hard to hear in the mix is this organ. And the synth note follows it. And on top of that, of course, are the call and response vocals, with Chris doing the call.
Who did you see today?
And me doing the response.
They're all faceless. Where did you go today? Nameless places. What did you do today? Nothing at all. How was your day, dear? I can't recall.
And here's that all in the mix with the vocals.
Did you see today? They're all faceless. Where did you go today? Nameless places. What did you do today? Nothing at all. How was your day, dear? I can't recall.
And one of my favorite parts of the song are the transition between the sections, like this build-up right before the chorus here.
How was your day, dear? I can't recall. Multitasking.
And now we're into the chorus. We have bass and timpani. And some spooky guitar. while we're talking about the chorus, it might be interesting to note that there are only 2 choruses in this song. There are 3 pre-choruses, but only 2 choruses, which maybe that's why it hasn't hit top 10. We played with the idea of having 3 choruses, but never felt right. So anyway, back inside the chorus, there's this percussion. There's this new keyboard sound. So now maybe you can find some of those things while listening to the full mix.
Hey dear, I can't recall. Multitasking, still's another day away. Multitasking, feels like every day's the same. Multitasking, scattered thoughts club my brain. Steals away another.
Then there's this section, I don't know what you call it, a post-chorus, a tag.
Steals away another day, steals away another day, steals away another day, steals away another day.
And inside that we've got and this section is my favorite section of the song just because it's a little breakdown that kind of reveals some of the things that we normally have buried in the mix.
I can't recall.
And this last verse starts off really quiet for contrast.
What happened to the years? There goes another week. Today's yesterday and tomorrow.
And we come back in with something a little different. This mono synth hasn't been heard before. This last pre-chorus is worth listening to without the vocals. See if you can hear all the things we talked about. A sort of doom and gloom look at robots and technology and our changing lifestyle is a reoccurring theme in our music. So this one fits right in. But what really inspired the song is with this new technology and lifestyle, people don't know how to be alone anymore. And people don't get the chance to get bored anymore. There's always something to entertain us. And as a parent, that's a huge concern. But we don't mean to be preachy here because we're all guilty of it. For the longest time, I never listened to music without doing something else. Driving a car, working on the computer, whatever it is. But we have a solution. As some of you may know, we are working our butts off to create this illustrated book that accompanies our next album. And the idea here is to steal your attention, to enhance the experience, to give you something to do while you're listening that's not distracting. Just like in the old days when we used to look at album artwork and liner notes while we listened to records. So our hope is you'll actually listen to the music, create one experience instead of half listening as we tend to do. And if you would like to help us out with this project, head over to cleavermusic.com. You can support us there, you can like this, you can share this, you can tell your friends. And we are now on Patreon, so that's another great way to support us. We have a lot of fun giveaways and bonus material there, so check that out. And absolutely feel free to start a conversation with us, tell us what you think. We hope you're half as excited about this as we are. Thanks for taking this little journey with us. I wish other bands did this kind of thing because it's always nice to see what's under the hood.